Good day, everybody. Rob here at WesternPacificWeather.com. It is currently about 1900 Japan Standard Time on this, the 10th of November, 2010. Actually kind of an interesting day out there today. Got a very deep blow up near the Kuril Islands, very, very deep, about 970 millibars, and overall this is affecting most of the weather north of Okinawa here. A high pressure originating behind that over China, and basically the interaction between that and the slow pressure is producing a northwest wind throughout much of Korea and Japan here, but really bringing much cooler temperatures throughout Korea here. Actually, the President Obama up in Seoul today, some reports of about temperatures in the teens up there to about basically about 40 degrees Fahrenheit up in that region, and that's basically due to this much cooler temperatures moving down from the northwest here, and also farther off to the east here, though, basically a stationary front extending all the way from this low pressure, extending throughout much of the central Pacific right here, or northwest Pacific right here, just north of Iwoto, all the way down to the Philippines here, and also farther to the south here, you have this big area of convection, which is really being enhanced by this stationary front. That's really why I bring it up, is that enhancement there is really bringing a lot of precipitation today for much of the Philippines here. Expecting that to last till the end of the week throughout this entire region, basically definitely enhancing those afternoon thunderstorms down there, making them last throughout most of the day. So definitely just basically a big soaker for that region. Not expecting any development out of this. Way too much shear coming off the northern periphery of this system right in this region, but definitely going to be a big rainmaker. And farther off towards the west here, just off the map, is Invest 93 Whiskey here in the Gulf of Thailand, moving off towards west, likely going to cross the peninsula here in the next 24 to 48 hours. But the big news is after it moves into the Bay of Bengal here, how it's going to act if it still has a lot of convection with it and development to come out of it. Now, right now, GFS and NOGAPS both picking up on this system to develop. Right now, it's moving along this monsoon trough, shown on this analysis from the Thailand Meteorological Department here. Basically, this area of low pressure is going to track along this trough off to the west here, and that's really where we're looking at for development here. Possible landfall as this system starts to develop as possibly a cyclone along the east coast of Sri Lanka and India here. Basically, very similar to the last track storm, Cyclone Jal here, might be very similar. Now we look at some of the models here, with no gaps here, showing a fairly developed system in the Bay of Bengal here on the 14th at 06E, so basically starting right about noon on the 14th here in the Bay of Bengal. And as we scroll down here, farther along the timeline here, you really start to see the system move off to the west and eventually off to the northwest. And actually, no gaps is actually starting to take a little bit farther to the northwest, so basically falling in that troughing area just to the north of that monsoonal trough. So there is a chance of the system start to recurve, and actually Bangladesh and showing this area of low pressure here just to the north here. Now there is that possibility of recurvature. It depends on how strong this area of low pressure is, and even depends on a whole slew of other factors as well. Basically the possibility of the overall development of the system, if it does develop at all. So basically right now though, there is a potential for any cyclone all the way from Sri Lanka and all the way up towards Bangladesh, but basically the overall east coast of India here definitely needs to watch this system as it starts to develop. Likely over the next 24 to 48 hours though, we're going to have a much clearer picture on where the system will go. But for now, though, very, very unclear. If I was a betting man, I would likely say it's going to make landfall in north of Chennai along the northeast coast of India here, but definitely that's mainly a educated guess and very, very long range. So it's definitely still a lot of time to watch this system develop, and if it does develop at all here. And the forecast out here in much of the Western Pacific, I already know that the Philippines is still going to be seeing that precip till the end of the week down to the south here, but an area of low pressure developing just south of Mongolia here over China, expecting to start to dip down towards South Korea over the next 48 hours and eventually move off to the northeast. Not really going to see too much precipitation along the east coast of Honshu with this system, and definitely not as far south as Ryukyu, but definitely going to see some rain along the west coast of Honshu, basically some orographic lifting working in there. And also showing the 24-hour forecast here from KMA, showing the system starting to work its way to the southeast, eventually off to the northeast as its high pressure starts to ridge out. But that's all for today, everybody. Thank you for listening to WesternPacificWeather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, as always, please email them to me at WesternPacificWeather.com. You can also post them in our Facebook live stream just to the right of where this video is being played. And also, you can find me at storm2k.org. Also, discussion on these invests I already noted today and this overall weather pattern going on out here at that website. Plenty of meteorological people there, very sound, so really good discussions there as well. And also, don't forget to join our Facebook page if you are not already a part of it. So, thank you very much, everybody, and have a great day. Bye.